Hello everyone, my name is Sylvia Benitez and I'm going to be discussing my article today, which is called Hospital Mergers and Acquisitions, Does Market Consolidation Harm Patients by Vivian Ho and Barton H. Hamilton. Now regarding this article, the article content represents whether or not hospital mergers and or acquisitions harm patients by one, reducing market power, and as a result of that reduction in market power, does it diminish the efficiency of the organization? As a result of diminishing the efficiency in an organization, does that in fact trickle down and reduce the quality of care to the patients as a result of these consolidations? That's what they were taking a look at in this article. That's what they studied. For the context purpose of this particular article, they focused on merger and or acquisition. In this case, merger is representative of those hospitals which were merged with another hospital in close geographic proximity. This is where two or more corporations merge together to form into one entity. They also took a look at acquisitions, and for the purpose of this study, acquisitions were reported as hospitals which were acquired by out-of-state hospital systems. So unlike the merger where they consolidated into one particular entity, these acquisitions, they still remain steadfast in their own market, but yet they were purchased by another system, and in this case, the majority of which were out-of-state conglomerates. With regard to the research and the support content of this is an actual paragraph out of a portion of the article which supports the research and kind of gives you a little bit of a direct hit on what it was they were doing. They compared the quality of hospital care before and after mergers and acquisitions in California. Now, this study took place between 1992 and 1995. So with regard to timing of this particular article, it is a little bit dated. Now, also a little bit tightly, they focused a little bit more tightly on, if you will take a look with me also, is they focused on patient demographics, the patient population that included heart attack patients, stroke patients, 90-day readmission for some of these heart attack patients, and discharge of newborns within 48 hours of birth. That is some of the supporting mechanisms they used, or the demographics they used, in order to substantiate whether or not their outcomes was yes or no. My personal analyzation of this particular article and what I felt was the most important takeaway is that while they did not note in their terms notable impact on the particular demographic that they addressed, those demographics that we just mentioned, there was still an impact. We have to recognize that there is so much pressure. Again, this was a little bit of a dated article, but that same pressure still exists, not only for physicians, but for hospitals, because of so much competition. Researching for some additional data with regard to mergers and acquisitions of today, there is not a big difference with regard to the actual content, because business is business. Now, this article relates to our current lesson in that the article exposes the content, and it exposes the reader to various methods of understanding finance, accounting, the general accepted accounting principles, financial statements, and their impact overall on the organization. So again, there are more relevant, or there are more current articles on mergers and acquisitions, but the premise, the inside, the heart of the matter, the meat of the study, which is how finance and accounting has direct impact on an organization and organizations themselves in healthcare, hospitals, physicians' offices, that sort of thing, that has really not changed. The process of business has remained the same. With regard to on the job and how I would relate this article to my work, well, it's important because as an administrator, it's important that administrators understand the revenue, the finance, the payables, the receivables in an organization. We are tasked with making sure that those receivables are covering the expenditures and bottom lines. Business is business, and the bottom line is, are we making money? Is my organization healthy? And again, we can break that down not just into what this particular study was the result of a merger and acquisition, but there's so much more that goes into it. But again, we're just focusing on this part. So the relevance for me with on the job with regard to this article is, yes, I do need to know where my finances are, the stability, the overall health of the organization. Are we good to go? Or in the case of this particular article, is it time that maybe we suggest to our boards, to our CEO, that we consider this offer of acquisition, or that we look to possibly going forward with a merger? Again, good information. Is it good? Are we good? Are we healthy? Are we okay? Or should we start looking at maybe going in this direction? So again, I reiterate that while this particular article is a little bit older, the content and the premise of what it studied and the effects remains the same and is relevant today. Again, my article was by Vivian Ho and Barton H. Hamilton. It is from 2000, and it is entitled Hospital Mergers and Acquisitions: Does Market Consolidation Harm Patients? Thank you.